Hello, YouTubers, and welcome back to another episode of The Grandstand here on the Ohio Patriot Education Network YouTube channel. I'm, as always, your host, Air the Ohio Patriot, and for today's episode, we're going to talk about why a so called selective service, aka draft, could lead directly to the Second American Revolution, or anyway. Because apparently there's a lot of stupid motherfuckers that don't get it, is what it is. Not surprising, especially if they have the leftist mentality and don't understand big picture theory, is what it is right now. But yeah, I'm going to go ahead and break it down on here in the next probably 5 minutes or so, give or take. This is not going to be a very long one. Really, I just got a bunch of. I posted something under our X page earlier today. And I was like, yeah, to the leftists out there, like, we don't understand that, the stupid shit that we're seeing right now with this whole thing could lead directly to civil war / revolution. Um, you're pretty much retarded, is what it is. And then you had a bunch of retards basically coming back at me. Were like, I don't understand. It's like, of course you fucking don't, dude. You're the exact fucking people I'm talking about. uh, but now, seriously though, I actually got a little prepared statement here. Is what it is. I wanted to get this down because my thoughts are obviously sort of scattered right now. Sometimes is what it is, where I'm obviously tired and whatnot. So I wanted to make sure I had this like directly is what it is here. So I'm going to read the prepared statement thing I made earlier. I was going to do is originally I was going to do this as like a list of responses back to people and stuff like that. But the problem is it would have taken too long, and it's just easier to do like a little fucking grandstand. Here's what it is then. So I said, since a lot of the folks don't seem to understand how quote unquote selective service would very likely lead to a second American Civil War / revolution, going to lay it out right here. First of all, the term selective service is a fucking joke in of itself, because they won't actually call it forced conscription, which is what it really is at the end of the day. It's people that don't actually want to be, part of your bullshit fucking war that you are then forcing into a selected service when they turn 18, is what it is there. When in reality, they shouldn't have to be forced to join up. Like that's the one thing. It's like it would be one thing entirely if it was someone's actual ability for themselves to want to go and at 18, 19 years old, whatever it is there, they're like, oh, let me go join the military. Like let me go serve my country, right? But that's not what selective service is, dude. Selective service is there because fucking retarded ass motherfuckers who for over a decade now, really almost 2 decades now, since that fucking ass clown Obama, have pushed this dumbass, retarded, woke agenda on our military, pushed fucking transgender bullshit in there, pushed all the fucking ideology in there for the left, talked about actually giving fucking service members trans surgeries and stuff like that, and having American tax dollars pay for the trans surgeries, etc. there. Which, first of all, how the fuck are you going to go into the military, potentially be infantry / boots on the ground someplace, when you're literally getting your fucking dick chopped off / inverted into you as a fucking dude trying to be a woman and sitting in the fucking hospital for 6 months at that point? Oh yeah, that's right, you're not. That's the entire point, dude. And so, of course, time and time again, and now we're showing all this stuff here in the last, there's all these different videos that have come out in the last, like, I would say a few years now is what it is, of all these different military guys and stuff like that, dressing in drag and shit like that, and showing what a joke those fucking branches are, is what it is now. And that's the entire point. And it's like, you wonder why you have all these different military branches, whether it be Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, etc., there, not being able to meet their quotas, their goals, It makes total sense at that point. Because why would anyone brain want to serve in the most retarded fucking version of the military in the United States that has existed in pretty much entire is there? Oh yeah, that's right, they wouldn't. That's the entire point. And there's actually people I've talked out of fucking joining personally, because there was a couple extended family members and stuff like that were going to do that stuff. It was my first cousin. It was her step was going to join up, and I'm like, please do not do this. And she's like, why? And I literally did that for her, and she literally chose to do something else and get the money that way, is what it was, for like college and stuff. So, yeah. But anyway, so yeah, so going back to what I was saying though about the forced conscription thing is like, and the thing of that is, right, if they actually called it forced conscription, you would actually have a bunch of lawfare and lawsuits against the government immediately for the shit being unconstitutional. And why is it unconstitutional, you might ask? Mostly, like I laid it out a minute ago, it's because most Americans don't want to fight in some fucking war that's being made up by a dude who is a literal fucking cheater and child molester. And not to mention the fact that Ukraine itself is a literal backup country for Biden, those assholes, the fucking money, launder money to. Not to mention the fact that you have literal fucking Nazi battalions in the nation. Like, yeah, why would we ever support that shit, dude, as American citizens? I sure as shit wouldn't. And I fucking don't, by the way. I don't support either fucking side in that thing. And that's the thing. My opinion, if fucking Russia and Ukraine want to wipe each other out, let them fucking do it, honestly. Fuck them both. Like, for real, dude. It is not our goddamn involvement as American citizens to deal with this fucking stupid bullshit, dude. Because it's not our fucking countries. They don't literally border us as fucking nations. You know what nations they do border? They border a bunch of so-called NATO allies, these same so-called guys that never put a fucking dime into the goddamn system when you had America, the United States of America, our fucking tax money us being taxed, by the way, in many cases for the last, 30, 40, 50 fucking years now is what it is, to where you had all this money, like 75, 85% of the fucking NATO cash coffers at that point was all U.S. military, dude. It was all U.S. military, U.S. tax dollars, etc., funding that shit. And you had all these other fucking BS countries then. All these like ones like Poland and fucking France, everything like that. That's what it is, dude. They put in either next to nothing or a few dimes where Americans were putting in like hundreds of thousands of dollars each at that point. And money that we'll never fucking see. That by all means should be going to us is what it is. And I truly, and I'm going to call it like it is right now, honestly, dude. I believe this entire thing is white genocide, honestly. Because I was thinking about it, actually, it was like last night into this morning even. And, you look at like I was talking about in the last episode, actually, where you had that picture of all those girls now being sent to the front lines in Ukraine there. Because they basically have meat grind all their fucking men and stuff like that of all the, different ages between basically like 18 and 70 at this point or something. Not to mention the fact you've had, autistic and Down syndrome people being put on the front lines there as dudes, to the point where there's now videos, by the way, emerging out of different parts of Ukraine and stuff like that, dude, of them trying to force conscript guys on the buses and stuff like that would be like military age men and stuff like that there. And you actually have citizenry in these villages like trying to fight the fucking military to stop it from happening, because they're like, no, you're not going to send another one of our guys. You just go out there and die now is what it is. And that's what I'm talking about. I'm talking about civil war / revolution, dude. If you really believe truthfully that same exact thing would happen here in America, you're fucking kidding yourself. You have your head swept your own ass at that point. You're never going to see the fucking light of day is what it is. Because that's exactly what would happen, man. You would have parents be like, kid, and you're sure shit not taking me either, motherfuckers. And that's the entire point. And that's exactly why you would lead to armed standoffs. That's exactly why you would lead to armed skirmishes. It's what you would lead to various Civil War-ish conflicts that, at the end of the day, potentially would go down in the U.S. history as something possibly began as a civil war, but almost immediately then turned into a revolution is what it was. And that's exactly what I'm talking about this whole time, honestly, is people don't get it because they don't see the big picture of what it is right now. And it's sad that they don't see that, dude, because even the ones who are those ages between 18 and 26 right now, they should be the ones that are calling it out most of all, honestly, man, because it's like, especially if they would be like the last part of their bloodline, Like, seriously, think about in the past couple of centuries now that we've had various wars. I mean, we've already had 2 world wars at this point. Both of them happened in the 19th century, by the way. You had one in 1917, you had one in 1945. Obviously, Germany was involved in both of them, is what it was there. You also had a bunch of other countries, too, for that matter, that were all on both sides, one way or the other, is what it was there. But the entire point of the matter is, when you have people who want to push their own fucked up agendas onto society and want for all this other stupid ass crap, to where you are making our country look weak, you are making our military look weak with all this woke ass bullshit, and then you wonder why people are going to call it out, and you wonder why we're not going to let our sons and daughters be literally drafted into your team. Fucking forever war is what it is. Because that's the thing, right? Like, I'm smart enough, and I'm just enough autistic right now, dude, that I can see the biggest picture right now. And I'm talking about 10, 20 years out right now, dude. You know why? Because I actually study history. Because I've literally lived through the Afghanistan war, people. After 2001 up to a couple years ago, when we finally pulled out after 20 fucking years. And you think about it, right? You literally had men who in 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, etc., joined up, signed up, you know, were willing to put their bodies in the line to go, quote unquote, fight terrorism overseas. Even though most of it was right here on U.S. soil, in positions of power and authority, U.S. senators, U.S. congressmen, the presidency, etc. there. You know, there's a reason why we talk about fighting terror, foreign and domestic, even though now it's pretty much all domestic, because it's not only just government officials, it would also be, you know, government tyrants, etc. there. It would be motherfuckers walking through our borders every single day now, like the ISIS terrorist cells that they found recently in New York, there's what it was. But the entire point of the matter is, you have people who clearly don't get that's what it is. And so you have these dudes that were willing to go and like put their bodies on the line back in like the early 2000s when it was there. You know, maybe had a kid right before that happened, or maybe had a kid, like maybe they did come back, but they came back messed up, whatever the case be. And they were able to have a kid after that, is what it is. Fast forward, you know, 15, 20 years then, right before the shithole ended, during Biden's failed pullout. And by then, it was the kids of the fathers who originally went and fought. There was actually a great meme somebody made up of it, I think in the last couple of years here, and it was basically, it was this older soldier guy like walking away or whatever the case be, and like handing his I think it was handing his rifle off, if I'm not mistaken, to like a young guy coming up, whatever the case be. And it's like, it basically what it was is it's the guy's kid, and it's like, hey son, now it's your turn. Him handing like him the fucking gun now or something. And that's exactly what it is at the end of the day. It's them trying to push that stuff, dude. But the thing is, like, yeah, you're not just going to have American citizens willingly sit by, you know, parents, grandparents, aunts, uncles, etc. there, just verify and do nothing, while their kids, their grandkids, their nieces, their nephews, etc., are literally forced conscripted / drafted into some horse fucking war that we don't want anything to do with, is what it is, dude. And that's what I'm talking about the whole time here, is what it is. And I think that's what people are failing to understand, is they need to look at the big picture right now. Because the big picture of the whole thing, when you literally have Biden's fucking piece of shit cheater ass here in the last couple of days, signing some bullshit 10-year deal that's completely unconstitutional, by the way, to basically back Ukraine for the next decade. If you really think that this fucking possible war that we're looking at right now, dude, is only going to happen and be like 6 months to a year or two is what it is, you're kidding yourself. No, it's going to be going 5, 6, 7, 10 years down the road or more now, dude. And by then, you would have these kids that are my niece's age, by the way, right now, who are 10 fucking years old, that would be forced conscripted in the military at 18 years old. If you think for one fucking second that I, as an uncle, am going to ever let that shit happen, you can go fuck yourself, dude. Because I will personally take the goddamn fight to the fucking tyrants at that point, if it came to it. But it shouldn't even need to come to it at that point, because again, we should not be getting into a fucking world war. When you literally had Trump, an actual president of this country, have damn near world peace. But you had to have the cheater-ass Democrats come in there at the last fucking second, cheat Biden's fucking child molesting dementia ass in there. And now this fucker is doing all he can now to go for fucking broke now and destroy this country as much as possible from the inside out in 3.5 years or so now, give or take. It's a bunch of shit, dude, entirely. And none of us want to go fight a fucking war again. We're sick of it, bro. You fuckers in Congress, you fuckers in the U.S. Senate want to go fight a war? Then fucking resign on the spot and take your fucking piece of shit asses over the front goddamn lines, dude. And it starts with your fucking dumbasses then. And your fucking children, your fucking bloodlines. You want to wipe out bloodlines? Wipe out your fucking own assholes. And it stops from right there is what it is, you fucking douchebag. End of fucking story. Because you will not conscript our children. You will not fucking destroy our lives, our bloodlines, etc. for your fucked up, retarded, warmonger asses. It's as simple as that, really. So, anyway. I'm getting tired. I'm going to go take a nap for a while. But yeah, I just want to come on here and do this because so many people are talking, hit me back on X like that and stuff, not understanding the actual thing I posted into our network account earlier. So figured I'd just come on here, do this real quick, and go from there, basically. So, and hopefully people get what I'm saying now. It's not going to happen, dude. That's end of story. You know, and it's the same thing like with Vietnam. You know, you had a draft back in Vietnam. Look at how many draft dodgers existed back then that ran up to Canada or wherever the fuck it was then, dude. And burned their fucking stupid ass enlistment cards is what it was then. If you really think there wouldn't be like videos coming out like every single day of people just in every single street in this country just gathering up with fucking Selective service cards in their hands, just burning the fucking shit, you know, dozen at a time or more in videos, you're kidding yourself, dude. That's exactly what we see, honestly. And then you'd have like the authoritarian jackboots at that point go full retard, basically, try to have cops basically force these guys into being conscripted and stuff like that, and then eventually gals too, for that matter. And again, what you'd end up having is you'd have very much situations like that one we saw here at with that Ring doorbell camera with that woman calling the cops a bunch of cunts or pointing arrows and stuff at her is what it was there. And yeah, you would just have people being like, no, fuck you, get off my property, bitch. And then that would possibly lead to firefights too, for that matter. You know? Like, it doesn't really take that much of a thought process to jump to that conclusion, because we've seen it time and time and time again is what it is. You have actual evidence of this upwards of less than a year ago right now is what it is, man. People in other countries, specifically in Ukraine now, you know, video surfacing there where you got people, them trying to drag dudes on buses and stuff like that, and you got literal fucking old women and villagers and stuff like that being like, no, you're not, and like slapping the shit out of these fucking military guys is what it is then. Because they're not going to watch more and more of their people die for Zelensky's fucking Napoleonic power grab is what it is, dude. For his wannabe Hitlerian shit is what it is there, dude. Which, honestly, looking at Zelensky at this point, dude, I really think that guy's mixed between Hitler and Napoleon. Like, Napoleon fucked Hitler or vice versa. You got that idiot Zelensky now, is what it would be then. So, anyway. But, yeah, that's pretty much it for the day, though. Hope you guys enjoyed this episode. I'll see y'all on the next one. We'll be doing Stand Your Ground Saturday later tonight. I'm not sure if it'll be before or after NEA's chat, but, yeah, either way, it'll be at some point in the coming, like, 12 hours or so. So, but yeah, other than that, though, it's been fun. It's been real. Have a good one, y'all. Stay safe, stay vigilant, always be carrying, and always fight tyranny. And it's as simple as that, really. Fight tyranny every day, and you won't have to deal with tyrants ever, is what it is then. Later, y'all. Peace out.